Well, boys and girls, FM24 is finally here, so I'm here to bring you my new save. I won't leave you waiting any longer. Run the intro. Yes, that's right. We've got an intro. Yes, we are doing a director of football versus a head coach. What that means, two saves running parallel to one another. It's going to test my editing skills to the max, but I'm going to give it a go, and here are the rules. For the director of football then, the objectives are to sign new players and renew all player contracts, to recruit staff and renew staff contracts. We're going to make our signings based on the assistant manager's preferred tactics and formations. We're going to assign all the scouts, but we're going to have zero influence on team selection, tactics, training, all that stuff. That's going to be left to the assistant manager. And for the head coach, well, it's the opposite. He's going to be just responsible for training. He's going to pick the teams and the tactics. He's going to have zero influence on player signings or sales, and zero influence on all staff recruitment and contract renewals. So without further ado, let's meet the guys. Here we have our director of football. He's got his glasses on. He's got a three-piece suit. He's even got a scarf. He looks smart as. And he's even got some pretty mean mental attributes to help him along the way. Nothing in the way of coaching, but he doesn't need any of that. And here is the guy currently helping us out with team selection, Andrea Maldera. Likes to play a 4-3-3. He doesn't really have a tactical style. He's got some pretty okay attributes. Not sure he's the person I want making the on-field decisions, but we'll have a look at what is available. The other thing we need to address is the staffing numbers. Now, we've got a set-piece coach, although we're not allowed one, so I've asked the board to let us have one. Key roles are going to be head of youth development. I think we can potentially get someone better than Ian Buckman. And obviously, looking at our defensive coaches, there's some real below average coaches. Scouting is not great. Physio, medical department, also not great. So we're going to have to sort some of this out before we get started. And once we have an assistant manager in place and a preferred formation, we'll look at what areas we can look to improve. Immediately, I'm looking at defensive midfield and right back, depending if we do play a 4-3-3. Obviously, we're doing okay on the left, but a lot of 3 stars here. So, potential to improve. Bert Verbruggen, 5-star potential goalkeeper, but Jason Steele's going to be in his way. Or is he? It depends on what the assistant manager thinks, but I'd like to get Bart Verbruggen as much game time as possible. So, we might look to move on Jason Steele. And yeah, that all's going to depend on what we do formation wise, but definitely a goalkeeper is a position where I'm either going to look to strengthen or look to promote Bart. And on to the transfers that are already arranged. We are doing the real world. So Robert Sanchez will be joining Chelsea on the 5th of August. Moise Caicedo will also be joining Chelsea on the 14th of August. Steven Alzate, Kasper Kozlowski, Sarmiento, Undav. Names that I'm familiar with. Aaron Connolly's leaving on permanently. The rest are leaving on loan. And of course, coming in, we've got the likes of Igor. We've got Carlos Baleba. Ansu Fati joins us on the 31st of August on loan for a season. Maybe one of the things I need to do is look to bring him in permanently, but we'll see what the funding allows. We've got 80 million to spend. We're minus in the wage budget. Not sure if that's going to move up or down once the likes of Caicedo depart. We'll have to play around with it. Staff-wise, I have made some offers for some coaches and some performance analysts. And Rui Aguas, I think that's how you pronounce his name, he looks like he might be our assistant manager. He's got fairly solid attributes on the ones that we need. He likes to play a 4-2-3-1 DM formation, which I think potentially suits our players a little bit better than the 4-3-3. We'll have to see, but I think he's going to be the guy we look to bring in. Now let's see if we can do it. Now, one area of Football Manager that I've neglected over the years are these staff meetings, but I think as a director of football, it's only fair that I attend. I can have a meeting with my technical director, see what he suggests. Like right now, he's telling me we do not have a director of football. We do, it's me, your plum. But scouting and transfer team vacancies, he's recommending a couple of scouts. I'll have a look at them. I think this is a bit of realism. This is probably what would happen as a real life director of football. You'd have your technical director, your scouts and stuff come up to him. All the coaching stuff I'm just skipping, but all the recruitment, staff, everything like that, we'll do. We'll see how it goes. Who knows? We may just find something useful. The other part of realism is we won't just be going straight to the staff search screen. We will be placing adverts for our recruitment roles or using the suggestions in the team meetings. So right now, place an advert, scouting, scout. We've got one space for a scout. Let's see what comes back. We've also got a space for a physio. So we will do that. And apparently we've got a space for a sports scientist. Any spaces here? No. So we'll see what adverts come back before we make any decisions. And yeah, that'll be that. And it feels like we've waited forever and a day, but Rui Aguiras has got his work permit. So Andrea is out the door. Rui is in. We'll confirm that. Now, all that's left to do for the director of football is head over to this squad planner, put it into the 4-2-3-1. Okay, so we potentially need a goalkeeper and a right back. I'm going to go set up some recruitment focuses and try and find the answer to those two problems. Meanwhile, meet the head coach. And here is our head coach, Potsy tracksuit. Exactly what it says in the tin is Potsy in a tracksuit. Well, not quite. I do wish I had that hairline. His attributes, we've gone all the way over to the left, the coaching side of it. He's a coaching mastermind despite having no chin hair. And in line with the rules of the save, all the transfers and contracts, everything's been delegated apart from the likes of training and tactics, etc. The one thing we haven't got is a director of football, but we have asked Tony Bloom to find us a director of football that can oversee the director of football things. And unlike the director of football, these staff meetings we will have set to never. You can't quite see it because it's behind my head, but it is set to never. We don't need any of these meetings. Tactic wise, I've just loaded in the preset 4-3-3 vertical tiki-taka until we make some signings or sell some players. Then I'll make a decision on what tactic we're going to go with. Set pieces, I set up a basic routine so far. I will work on them because that is down to the head coach and the set piece coach. We're going to work together and hopefully we're going to turn this Brighton team into a bit of a force. In a bit of a brainwave, I have actually gone back to the monthly staff meeting and set it to once every week. And I will only be taking on the coaching part and possibly the development part, depending on what it is. If it's outgoing loans and stuff, we'll skip it. But if it's just coaching, individual training, advice, I feel like that's realistic for your staff members to give you that kind of advice. So we'll be doing the coaching part of the meeting, recruitment, everything else will be skipped. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. And all that's left to do now is hit continue, wait to see what signings get brought in, build a tactic, and go back to the other save, director of football, make some signings, see how we start the season. And you can join me on Thursday when we will do a transfer deadline day special and a check-in on how things are going. Right, boys and girls, hope you enjoyed that. Hope you're excited about the new adventure. If you are, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and come back on Thursday where you can meet our new players and see how both Potsy in a tracksuit and PottsyFM are getting on in their new respective jobs. Take care and stay safe.